Why don't snowmen like carrot cake? Well, it's because it tastes like boogers.
How do groundhogs keep a record of how many trees that they've chewed? Well, they keep a log.
How do you make a baby snake cry? Well, you take away its rattle. Why did the hot chocolate file the police report? Well, it got mugged. If you're feeling unattractive, consider buying a wig. It's a look that anyone can pull off. Nom nom. What did the corn chip say to the light bulb? Are you turned on? Because I'm Frito-Lay. My Nana was doing a jigsaw puzzle of a chicken, but she told me the pieces weren't right. And I looked at it, I said, Nan, that's a box of cornflakes. A man goes into a diner and orders a blueberry pancake. He asks, will it be long? The cook replied, no, it'll be round. Studies show that eating a lot of chocolate cake will lower your chances of a stroke. Yeah, that's a swimming, tennis, golf, strokes. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas may not be tomorrow, but if you're struggling to find a gift for your spouse for Christmas, you should get them a refrigerator and watch their face light up every time they open it. What is the opposite of a croissant? A happy uncle. What kind of fancy shoes does Mr. Peanut wear? Cashews. I wonder what they called the first person to bake a pie. Probably a pioneer. As a kid, I connected all of the polka dots on our Dalmatian. Remarkably, it was a dog. I hugged some random dude because I thought he was my dad. What a faux pas.
I was assaulted by a man with a block of cheese. I mean, how dare he?
So I asked my son why he put the popcorn in the freezer, and he told me he wanted a popsicle.
Why does Piglet smell so bad? Well, because she's always playing with poo. Why can't Popeye the Sailor Man's enemies predict whether he's bought spinach that day? Well, because no one ever expects the spinach acquisition. A wise man said, sometimes it's better to say nothing at all. An even wiser man didn't say that. Did you know that you can wear any boat as a hat? Yeah, you just have to turn it upside down. And then it's capsized. It's National Dress Up Your Pet Day. So, why do poor dogs like to chase their tails? Well, it's so they can make ends meet. saw a bumper sticker today that said, "Beware of this idiot behind me." Well, I decided to follow him so I could figure out who that idiot was. What do you call a child with red-headed parents? Gingerbread. Free Willy. Hey, what did the dolphin say after the other dolphin splashed him? Hey, you did that on porpoise. Fly, birdie, fly. Why don't bald eagles tell knock-knock jokes? Well, because freedom rings. Woo! It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, so here we go. Why did the police officer arrest the skeleton? Well, he could see the joint in his hand. Blub, 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 blub. What kind of birds steal from a bubble bath? Robber ducks. And for my first wish, I want a Tacoma. And don't forget to put the bobblehead figurine of Yoda. That way, I'll have a Toyota in my Toyota. People often ask me why I only put 239 beans in my soup. And I tell them, because one more and it'd be 240. What's the difference between your boyfriend and whipped cream? Cream! Great Scott! Is the Demigorgon the weirdest sci-fi creature? Could be. I haven't seen Stranger Things. Help, I'm falling. Did you hear about the maple syrup companies that are going out of business? Yeah, those poor saps. Jacked! Fun fact, if you stretch out all of the organs in your body, you die. The next round's on you. If the holidays are knocking you down, here are some things that you can try to get back up again. You can drink a whiskey drink, drink a vodka drink, drink a lager drink, drink a cider drink, sing a song that reminds you of the good times, sing a song that reminds you of the better times. Delicious! Why should you never, ever mess with an Italian pastry chef? Well, because they'll beat the focaccia. Brownies! Woo! What do brownies and pee in your pants have in common? I don't know, but you're in for a treat. Help me, I'm stuck. Do you know why socks need to be 12 inches long? So you can put a foot in them. Why, oh why are socks so expensive? I had to choose between taking my girl out or buying a new pair of socks, but I couldn't ask her because I got cold feet. Ooh, yum. May you live as long as you want and not want for as long as you may live. That's an Irish toast. But cinnamon, bread, eggs, and butter and syrup, that's a French toast. Happy birthday. Why are parfaits better dates than cakes? Because they have more layers to explore. Yum, yum, yum. It's too bad that the oceans are so polluted nowadays. I just got a can of sardines and they were covered in oil. Dad, can I ask you something kind of serious? Of course, buddy. What's up? Was I adopted as a child? Son, we tried. But nobody would take you. Dad, what? Happy National Adoption Day. Eat me! Puh! You know what? Why are there gingerbread men, but not gingerbread women? It's the patriarchy! Help me! Help! Why was the kid's blanket arrested? Well, for being an accessory to kidnapping. Yeah, get it. You know, Monopoly is fun, but it has some things in there that are really old and just don't make any sense. Like, there's free parking, a luxury tax, and rich people actually go to jail. Bibbity bobbity boo. Which Disney princess is on the most dating apps? Tinderella. Melting. What do you get when you eat butter, flour, baking powder, sugar, and a raw egg? You get a stomach cake. Ouch. Every time I order fast food, when I get to the window, they're like, sorry about the wait. I mean, I know I put on a few pounds, but that's just rude. Smooth. Hey, is your refrigerator running? If so, I may vote for it. Ha ha!
Crunch, crunch. Hey, where did the pickle go to get a stiff drink? He went to the salad bar. Yeah.
Yeehaw. You know, at work, I get paid to be kind. What I don't understand is why my friends and family expect me to do it for free on my time off. But what do serial killers and people who eat fried chicken have in common? They both think the skin is the best part. Yum, yum, yum. What did the vanilla cupcake say at the all jelly donut party? Where are the holes at? What do you call a sundae that melts away and turns to garbage? A Monday. Yeah, I want a hug. You know, whenever I go to parties, I always bring a teddy bear with me. It's my plush one. Nacho! What do you call a line of pickup trucks carrying nachos? A cheesy pickup line. Ew. Yum yum. What do cops become when they've had too many donuts? They're feds. Pa. I almost got busted for shoplifting at the candy store the other day. But I got out of it because I got a couple Twix up my sleeve. Oh, so pretty. What do hand grenades and housewives have in common? Once you pull off the ring, your house is gone. Arr, 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 arr. What is a singer's favorite sandwich? Sol, la, mi, on, do. Meow. Well, if all dogs go to heaven, where do cats go? Purgatory. Pinch, pinch. What's the difference between a cop and a hermit crab? Well, a cop ejects his shells much more often. Oh, yum, yum. I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallow, and nuts. If I'm honest, it was a rocky, rocky road. Beer makes you smarter. Well, It made Budweiser. Eon. How do you acquire a smaller version of Thor's hammer? Well, you just breed a horse with a donkey, and then you'll have a little Mjolnir. Eon. Yum yum. What's the difference between Kim Kardashian and a homeless man working at McDonald's? One of those greasy bums is making a lot of money. What do you call a dog that floats? A good boy. Rum rum. What's the coldest type of lizard? A blizzard. Rum rum. Why did the chicken get kicked out of the breakfast buffet? Because it flipped when someone called waffles pancakes with abs. I can't remember how to write 1, 1051, 6, and 500 in Roman numerals. And let me tell you, I'm livid.
What did the pig say when they said he was cooking chocolate cupcakes all wrong? He said, listen, I've been baking my whole life.
I spent my entire life savings on pasta. It's okay. It was worth every penny. What lights up a soccer stadium? A soccer match. Sometimes I wake up grouchy, but sometimes I let her sleep in. If I ever go completely bald, I'm going to get a tattoo of a rabbit on my head. So from a distance, it'll look like a hare. I have a friend who's half Indian. We just call him Ian, though. How does a male farmer win the heart of a female farmer? Well, a tractor. Recently, I got a job at the Postal Service so I could tell people that I'm a male escort. Why did the beauty salon overcharge Jesus? Well, it's because he had extra nails. My old lights? Yeah, they were a bit dense. But these new LED lights, now they are illuminating. Why doesn't the Queen come to the Mad Hatter's tea parties? Because he doesn't serve royal tea. My sister bet me $1,000 I couldn't build a car out of noodles that would drive faster than her. You should have seen her face when I drove pasta. 4. What ruined Tiger Woods' golf career? Well, it was his driving game. What did the janitor call his safety warning inspired metal band? Slip Knot. Did you know that the president is great at reading female body language? Unfortunately, he can only read in Braille, though. Ooh. What do you get when you try to crossbreed a human and a moose? Apparently, arrested. Have you heard that chocolate milk comes from brown cows? That's utter bullcrap. Whenever I go out, I have to buy a comic book. My friends say I have real issues. What's worse than a lobster on your piano? Crabs on your organ. Ooh. How do you blind a woman? You put a windshield in front of her. I remember when I was a kid that I could go to the store with just $1 and walk out with 2 bags of chips, 2 liters of soda, 6 bags of Skittles, and 6 Slim Jims. But nowadays, they got cameras everywhere. How does an alchemist get his wife off? Well, elixir. I asked the Chinese restaurant, what's the smallest portion of rice that I can get? And they told me shrimp fried rice. How do you make a pirate angry? You take away the P. What is the scariest tree? Bamboo. What do you call someone making trouble in a Jamaican church? A cinnamon.
What do you call a vegan burger? A mistake.
What did one hoagie say to the other when they got in trouble? You're toasted. Which branch of the United States military is the most patriotic? The Air Force. They are USAF. Why are you always watching other people play video games on YouTube, son? Sounds boring. Anyways, I gotta run and catch a football game on TV. So she told me I was the worst that she'd ever had in bed. How could she make that judgment in less than 2 minutes? What does Hannibal Lecter call the girl from The Ring? TV dinner. What do people do at the teddy bear factory? Stop. Before too long, President Trump's going to be the most politest man ever. He'd be saying things like, pardon you, pardon myself. The girl I brought home last weekend didn't seem too impressed by my collection of beer commercials. Apparently she misunderstood me when I said I have 6-pack ads. But then I said, your beard makes you look thinner. But that didn't seem to cheer her up. Our local pizza guy was arrested for selling drugs. I've been a loyal customer for years. I honestly had no idea that he was selling pizzas. I sure do like painting wildlife, but I'm sick of the rabbit fur getting stuck in my brushes. What does a vegetable get in bowling? Asparagus. Where is the annual no arms and no legs baseball game played? Wiggly Field. What kind of hotel only accommodates for vampires? The Hema Globe Inn. Why did the bag of trail mix leave their family? Because it was sick of raising kids. Did you know that Steve Irwin wore sunscreen on the beach? Too bad that didn't protect him from the harmful rays. Ooh, yum. My son keeps rubbing lemon juice all over his skin. I think he's possessed. What did the bow tie say to the tuxedo? Suit yourself, 'cause I'm the one keeping it classy. I handed my friend a peach, and he said he'd prefer pears. So I gave him another one.
What did the police officer do when he saw the puppy giving birth on the side of the road? He stopped and gave her a ticket for littering.
What's the difference between your parents and a banana? You didn't make a banana split. What's a stalker and a Pokemon nerd have in common? They both try to hide in the bushes and get a Pikachu.
When I was a kid, I remember my parents filling my head with nonsense like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and Tooth Fairy. Now that I'm older, I'm glad I didn't believe any of that rubbish. Thank God.
What's the secret to a smoking hot body in old age? Cremation.
What's the difference between a fly and a mosquito? You can't unzip your mosquito.
What did the angry potato say to his enemies? You better be careful or I'll mash you.
How many Mexicans does it take to eat the world's largest fajita? Just one. What do you call a dinosaur with smelly feet? Extinct. You don't have to be a geographer to laugh at a mountain joke, but it helps. Why do boy owls take after their dad? Like feather, like sun. Why can't you tell a chocolate chip a secret? Because they crumble under pressure. Why are chocolate chips so good at sports? Because they always know how to make the sweet play. Why does hair gloss always try to make jokes? Because it's always trying to brighten your day. What do you call an avocado that's been baptized? Holy guacamole! Why did the girl put lipstick on her head? She wanted to make up her mind. Why are eyeshadow, lipstick, and mascara never mad at each other? Because they always make up. What's Super Mario's favorite chocolate milk? Yahoo! And ice cream, a creme brulee, and a slice of cheesecake joined the army, but they abandoned their fellow soldiers after their first deployment. Now they're wanted for desertion. Why should you eat bagels with your family? Because it's a lovely experience for the whole family. What sweet does a cowboy enjoy? A Jolly Rancher. Why did the lemon cut her trip short? Because she ran out of juice. What do you call it when an ice cream has a bad day? A meltdown. Why was the hammock most popular at the beach party? Because it's the perfect swinger.
How do hammocks feel in the forest? Tremendous.
Why don't they have any toilet paper at KFC? Because it's finger licking good. Why don't they have any toilet paper at KFC?